It's Popples. Viral news and trending stories.
Some NBA legends weren't just battling defenders, they were battling death itself. From Pete Maravich playing his entire career with a missing coronary artery, a condition doctors say should have killed him, to Reggie Lewis collapsing on the court at just 27 due to an undiagnosed heart disorder. These are the untold stories. In this episode, we uncover 11 NBA legends who played while carrying deadly diseases, many without the world ever knowing. Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning was a force of nature, one of the most dominant defensive centers of his era, a 7-time All-Star, elite shot blocker, relentless competitor. Averaging 17 points, nearly 9 rebounds, and close to 3 blocks per game, Mourning built a resume that would eventually earn him a place in the Basketball Hall of Fame. His legacy looked untouchable. Then, in 2000, everything changed. At the peak of his career, Mourning was diagnosed with focal segmental glomerulosclerosis, a rare and aggressive kidney disease. FSGSS attacks the kidney's filtering system, causing protein to leak into the urine, severe swelling, and progressive organ failure. For most patients, it's life-altering. For an elite athlete in his prime, it was devastating. Doctors warned the disease could end his career and possibly his life. In a later interview, Mourning revealed the warning signs his body had been sending long before the diagnosis, signs that were easy to ignore when winning was everything. But this wasn't just a fight to stay in the league anymore. It was a fight to survive.
Lethargic. I had pitting edema in my legs where I just pressed and it just left a hole in my leg. Yeah, it left a hole in my leg. When I went to the bathroom, I had foamy urine in the toilet, like a lot of foam. So my body was spilling so much protein. Yeah, because my kidneys weren't functioning well enough to get rid of it. If I did not get a routine physical, I would have ignored it and kept going. Come on. Yeah. You understand? Absolutely. So what I'm trying to help you all understand is that when you're driving and the check engine light comes on, okay, you take your car in to get it fixed.
In 2003, Alonzo Mourning faced the moment that would define his life. He underwent a kidney transplant, receiving a new kidney from his cousin, Jason Cooper. For most athletes, that would have been the end of the story. For Mourning, it was only the beginning. Against all odds, he returned to the NBA. And in 2006, he did the unthinkable, winning an NBA championship with the Miami Heat, becoming the first player in league history to win a title after an organ transplant. He played several more seasons before retiring in 2008, but his battle with health wasn't finished. Years later, Mourning was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He had no symptoms, no warning signs. The cancer was discovered through routine screening, a test many men avoid. Doctors found nothing unusual during the initial exam, but further testing revealed the truth. Caught early, the cancer was treated successfully. Today, Mourning is cancer-free. More than 2 decades after his transplant, his survival stands as a testament to modern medicine and to a man who refused to ignore his body. He now uses his voice to advocate for men's health, especially in the African American community. His message is simple. If you want to live, you have to take responsibility for your health. While Mourning fought his way back, the next legend never even knew he was in danger. Pete Maravich. Pete "Pistol" Maravich wasn't just a basketball player. He was a phenomenon, a magician with the ball, a revolutionary scorer, a 5-time NBA All-Star. At LSU, Maravich did the impossible, averaging 44.2 points per game, a record that still stands untouched. In the NBA, he averaged over 24 points per game, dazzling fans with creativity the league had never seen. But inside his chest, something was terribly wrong. Pete Maravich was born without a left coronary artery. It simply didn't exist. This rare congenital defect wasn't discovered until after his death. Doctors later said the condition should have prevented him from playing competitive basketball, let alone becoming one of the greatest players of his era. His heart was forced to compensate every single day of his life. On January 5, 1988, at just 40 years old, Maravich collapsed during a pickup game in Pasadena, California. The heart attack was instant, fatal. The autopsy revealed the shocking truth. His heart had been a ticking time bomb. That he played professional basketball at all was nothing short of a medical miracle. And just when the league thought it had seen the worst, another tragedy followed. Reggie Lewis. In the early 1990s, the Boston Celtics were preparing for the future. That future was Reggie Lewis, a rising superstar, team captain, first-time All-Star in 1992. Standing 6'7", Lewis averaged over 20 points per game and was widely seen as the heir to Larry Bird, the next face of the franchise. Then, on April 29, 1993, during a playoff game against the Charlotte Hornets, Reggie Lewis collapsed on the court. The basketball world froze. Confusion followed. Rumors spread. Medical evaluations pointed to hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a dangerous thickening of the heart muscle that can cause sudden cardiac arrest. Just 3 months later, on July 27, 1993, Reggie Lewis collapsed again, this time during an off-season workout. He never woke up. At just 27 years old, one of the NBA's brightest futures was gone. Reggie Lewis was only 27 years old, a rising star, a team captain, a future Celtics legend. He left behind a devastated family, heartbroken fans, and a franchise in mourning. Toxicology reports ruled out drugs. His death was caused by a genetic heart condition, undiagnosed, silent, and lethal. The Celtics retired his number 35 jersey, ensuring his memory and the potential he never fulfilled would never be forgotten. His story also became a wake-up call, pushing for better cardiac screenings for athletes, a legacy that continues to save lives today. From a star gone too soon, we move to a legend whose strength once felt untouchable. Wilt Chamberlain. When you think of basketball invincibility, you think of Wilt Chamberlain, the man who scored 100 points in a single game, the force so dominant that the NBA changed rules to level the playing field. 13-time All-Star, 4-time MVP, records that still stand decades later. He seemed unstoppable, larger than life, immune to the limits of ordinary humans. Yet, in 1999, at 63 years old, Chamberlain succumbs to congestive heart failure. Reports suggest myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart, possibly triggered by a dental infection, weakened the heart that once powered his legendary frame. In his final months, he lost 50 pounds, his imposing physique fading as his heart struggled to keep up with the demands of his enormous body. His passing on October 12, 1999, at home in California, reminded the world, even the mightiest are vulnerable. Next, we turn to a man whose dominance on the boards defined a generation, Moses Malone. Nicknamed the chairman of the boards, Malone was a rebounding machine, a 3-time MVP, 13-time All-Star. He led the Philadelphia 76ers to an NBA championship in 1983, fulfilling his bold prediction of playoff dominance. But years of physical exertion and perhaps lifestyle factors took a toll. On September 13, 2015, Malone was found dead in a hotel room in Virginia, 60 years old. The cause? Hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, chronic high blood pressure, and hardened arteries. Malone's passing, following the deaths of other big men like Daryl Dawkins, sparked serious discussions about the long-term health of retired NBA players. The NBPA responded, expanding cardiovascular screenings and preventive care for former athletes. His career stats, 20.3 points per game and 12.3 rebounds per game, tell part of the story. His legacy, however, lives on in the awareness he helped create about player health. From a player and coach who gave everything to the game. Paul Westphal was basketball intelligence in motion. 5-time NBA All-Star, a clutch performer, key architect of the 1976 Phoenix Suns, who made a legendary run to the NBA Finals. After his playing days, he transitioned seamlessly into coaching, bringing the same strategic brilliance to the sidelines. Basketball wasn't just his career, it was his life. Then, in August 2020, Westphal received devastating news. He had been diagnosed with glioblastoma, one of the deadliest forms of brain cancer, a disease that attacks the mind itself, the very organ that had made him a master of the game. Despite surgery, chemotherapy, and relentless treatment, the cancer progressed. On January 2nd, 2021, Paul Westphal passed away at 70 years old. His career averages, 15.6 points per game, a championship ring, tell only part of the story. His final battle revealed the same courage, intelligence, and determination that defined every moment of his life on the court. From a brilliant mind, we move to a towering physical presence, Bill Walton. Walton's career was legendary and plagued by pain. 2-time NBA champion, 1978 MVP, a passing genius, a dominating center, a college legend at UCLA under John Wooden, winning 3 consecutive national championships. But Walton's professional career came at a cost: 37 surgeries, mostly on his feet and back. Chronic injuries limited what could have been an even more dominant career. In later years, he faced a new opponent, prostate cancer. On May 27, 2024, Bill Walton passed away at 71 years old. His death shocked fans who had come to love his colorful commentary and infectious personality. Walton's passing renewed attention to prostate cancer, a disease often undiagnosed until late stages. Even in death, he reminded the world, screenings save lives. Despite averaging just 13.3 points and 10.5 rebounds due to injuries, Walton's impact on basketball and his resilience was immeasurable. Next, a legend whose health battles became a mission for awareness. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Few names resonate like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, NBA's all-time leading scorer until recently. 6-time MVP. 6-time champion. His skyhook, unblockable. Career averages, 24.6 points, 11.2 rebounds over 20 seasons. Longevity and excellence rarely seen. But in 2008, at 61, Kareem received shocking news. He had Philadelphia chromosome-positive chronic myeloid leukemia, or CML, a rare blood cancer. Where many would have seen a death sentence, Kareem saw a challenge. Targeted oral medications allowed him to manage the disease. Years later, he faced another health battle, prostate cancer. In a groundbreaking interview with Good Morning America, Kareem spoke candidly, using his platform to promote health equity and awareness. His message was clear. Even the greatest athletes must prioritize their health and use their voices to save lives. After surviving 2 potentially deadly cancers, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar turned his health battles into a mission. We're at a crossroads. People are either going to take healthcare seriously or they will struggle. We want people to be well. Kareem credits his survival to excellent medical care and fortunate circumstances, but he is quick to acknowledge the reality for most people, especially people of color. Access to quality healthcare is limited. He now works with UCLA's Health Equity Program, using his platform to encourage men, particularly African American men, to get regular screenings and take charge of their health. His story is one of triumph, resilience, and advocacy, proving that early detection saves lives. Next, a man whose life was defined by giving to others. Jerry West. Known simply as the logo, West's silhouette became the NBA's iconic symbol. 14-time All-Star, career average 27 points per game. Mr. Clutch. He delivered when it mattered most. But behind the glory, West battled atrial fibrillation, an irregular heart rhythm that increases the risk of stroke and heart failure. For over 30 years, he also struggled with depression and anxiety, rarely spoken about during his playing days. On June 12, 2024, West passed away at 86, with heart complications contributing to his death. His legacy is unmatched, not only as a player, but as an executive, building dynasties like the Showtime Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. By speaking openly about mental health, West paved the way for athletes to confront invisible battles, proving that success and struggle often coexist. He was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame twice, as a player in 1980 and as a contributor in 2024, a fitting tribute to a man whose courage on and off the court inspired millions. These stories show that even legends are human, that resilience, courage, and advocacy can turn personal battles into a legacy that saves lives. Thank you for watching. If you want more stories like these, click one of the boxes on your screen and keep exploring the world of basketball legends.